Welcome to 105. It is The Drive. Remember this? Auto Club may look like a race that you've seen before on this channel, but indeed it is not. KMR has officially moved back to N15. And so this is the first broadcast of the first race on N15. Now it will be a little bit different. You're used to seeing the whole entire race in the past. Not anymore. You're going to see clips of highlights as well as the last 2 to 3 laps of the race. Depending on how exciting the race is, we may do up to 10. But right now, this is what you're going to see. Welcome to Auto Club. I will be your broadcaster, the Cookie Monster. And of course, I am back in the 27. Let's get you introduced to everybody in the field. The 22 has the pole. He's in the top left. That's Fractured Chain. Back in the double deuce, ironically, the same season. We go back to N15. Outside pole is the 5. I believe that is the 5. No, that is not the 5. The outside pole is the 24. No, it is not the 24. Who's the outside pole out there? You know what? Honestly, guys, I do. Oh, excuse me. Yes, I do know who that is. That's the 15 of Chevy Giant. Chevy Giant running Michael Waltrip Racing. It's number 15. That's not Chevy Giant. That's Lord Chevy now. Hair Bear sits down below him in third, and the outside, the 31 of Swift Bunny, having a tremendous season. Of course, me sitting in fifth. That's your top 5. And beside me, my teammate, that looked like Lone Paintbrush in the 3. The 33 of Speedy would start down almost last. All Guns would be the last place car. Other notable, Speed B in the 24. So let's get you started. Plenty to see here, and so let's get you started with the race. Getting ready to go green flag. I hope you can hear that okay. Just in case you can't hear it, let's jack it up just a little bit. And green flag's in the air for KMR. N15 back once again. Crank it up, lap. We saw a lot of action, a lot of 3 and 4 wide racing there. The reason why N15 is, or reason why KMR has gone back to N15, just the instability and overall quality of the NASCAR, newer NASCAR games was just not there. It wasn't there. It didn't bring us the fun that we're used to having here, and so we're used to having good quality fun here. And so we went back, and we will stay back until some good quality racing happens. Our first caution happens on lap 3, and there you see quite a bit of contact. The 31 gets loose in the grass. He tags to my teammate in the 33. That would hurt his day. The 21 was also involved in that caution. Once again from Menards. Let's go back and give you one more look at that. Let's go back and give you one more look, and there you see it looked like the 31 was a tad. Well, you see the 3 wide action up there. Contact with the 3. Those are teammates up there, guys. The 3 is able to drive out of it. The 31, not so much. And that will pull our first caution of the day here at Auto Club. So we'll fast forward past the pace laps. There's no need to view that. You know what cars look like when they're pacing. Fractured Chain after pit stops would be shuffled back a peg. He'll be starting 4th. Getting ready to go our first restart in back in N15 with KMR. The 15 of Lord Chevy would be the pole sitter. Once again, a restart. Remember, KMR restarts at the line. So here they go. Green flag back in the air. Two by two as they come along here. There you see a battle for the lead. That's fractured inside. Hair Bear caught the wall. Fractured, and he's spinning around back there, and that brings out yet another caution. And trust me, it wouldn't stay this way. But what a tough start. You know, in going back, as we take one more look back at what went on here with these guys, you see the 22 back there spinning. We knew that coming back to NASCAR 15 would definitely cause some difficulties as drivers had to get used to running again. Pit roads would be open this time, and we had to get used to running again, running this kind of system, this kind of format, the kind of cars, the setups, all of that. We got to kind of remind yourself of all that you need to do in order to be fast and successful here. And so it was a big transition period for everyone. Keep your eye on this right here. Pit road is still open. And watch what happens here, though. One of the things KMR are going to have to readjust to is the electronic failures. Right now, there's about 10 cars on the racetrack. Watch what happens after this particular pit stop, which is probably the result of someone speeding on pit road, or that someone double file coming down pit road, which is not allowed in the M15 version. Watch what happens here soon. There you see the double file restart. And then all of a sudden you see the 31, who is the first driver in there, you see him disappear. 31's gone. And then all of a sudden you're gonna see some more cars start to disappear. We would go into pit road with 10 drivers. We would exit pit road with 5. Where'd the other 5 go? Well, one of them lags out, and the remaining 4 are actually in a lobby. Same race, but just 2 races happening simultaneously. So what does that mean? Well, KMR rules dictate that the lobby or race with the lobby host is their actual race. The other race, absent of the lobby host, was going to bring up the second half of the field. So this is your top 5. If all these drivers can finish, then the other lobby will finish out 6 through 10, according to KMR rules. So that is what's going to happen, because technically 5 drivers lagged out of this race. If we were to quit right now, these 5 drivers would be remaining in the lobby. The other 5 would be out. So here we go, preparing to go green. They're double file. I've got the lead right now. Hair Bear is the kind of my teammate. He's getting points as a Chevy. Of course, everyone knows the move that the 43 team at RPM has made in actual NASCAR to move their team to Chevrolet for more results. Here we go, green back in the air, 5 drivers, only 1 winner. Let's crank it up. Hair Bear in the 43 with lead laps. He's been a surprise this season. Really, actually could stand to do a little bit better, but honestly doing pretty well in KMR overall, and got that 43 car up front. Fractured chain, of course, he doesn't need to do any better than what he's doing, because what he's doing is great. and is battling Hair Bear right now for the lead. Remember that 43 car stayed out, and so there you see him in the wall hard. That allows me to kind of catch some ground on him. In the meantime, the 22 set sail. And in the other lobby around this time, Lone Paintbrush, the teammate in RCR, is putting on a clinic over on that side amongst many cautions. The unfortunate part is we don't get a clip of both. And guys, I know that everyone watching this, I know that you're used to the footage that you receive. You know, when you talk about KMR, you think of the footage you received on YouTube, the NASCAR heat, the crystal clear footage brought to you by Twitch. We want to thank all those guys over there for allowing me to use their services in order to produce some fine quality races. Until further notice, this is what the races are going to look like, but still some good racing, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make it as lively as possible coming in here. So here we go, the battle for the lead right now, the 22 and the 27. Not uncommon to see these two battling. That's Fractured, that's myself battling back and forth. You've got a battle on your hands. Skip forward though. We will battle for a couple laps, and notice what happens here. Fractured taps the wall. That's going to kill his momentum. You ride by, you see him kill his momentum here, and here we go diving into 1 and 2. I'm going to take a lower trajectory, and there you see side by side Cookie and Fractured. They rub doors, contact, and there's the 22. Can he hang on? No, he does not hang on. Look at it whip around and almost take the 43 out, and the caution flag flies. Look at that one more time. Just tap the wall, and that's all it takes right there. Just tap the wall a little bit, and around the car went, and caution comes out. Sorry, Fractured. And so that would be the third caution of the race. Skipping forward to the restart. Getting ready to go green. Keep in mind, this weekend, Texas, Talladega, Darlington on the schedule. We'll get those races out as quickly as possible to you. Almost 3 wide there. You see the 21 on that high side trying to come. Of course, Fractured starting in last wouldn't stay there. The 33 hurt motor. He would be almost irrelevant in this race when it comes to side-by-side battles and restarts. You see the 27 all alone up front right now. 43 chasing. Here comes the 22 right behind him. And the 27 would pace the field around this racetrack. Notice this battle here coming up soon though. The 27 would lead several laps, about 13 to 14 laps led overall in this race. But notice that 22 has gotten a little closer now. Here he comes to the inside. 22 is going to try to take over the lead. Can't, but keeps his nose on that bottom side. And watch what he does coming into 3 and 4, trying to dethrone the 27 up top. We know Auto Club has been a treasured race of the Monster for quite some time. Can he get a win this time? Well, the battle begins. Fracture doing everything he can not to bubble him, which is something we got to get used to again in NASCAR 15. As you see him doing everything he can, working on that rear end, trying to do everything he can to get him. He's going to fall back here. Watch the move on the inside on 3 and 4. Or rather, we're going to have to see what he does coming into 3 and 4. You see he backs out there. And so he's going to have to try to catch back up, but tight battling back and forth here. And no more cautions, I don't believe, throughout this period of race. Of course, if I'm actually broadcasting, I don't know now, do I? But this is just highlights of the race. 22 would back off for quite some time, trying to get a rhythm. And there you see The drive through the middle of the corner is what Fractured had during this race. This was the heads up that kept him in this race over the 27. 27 had drive in, 27 had drive off, but that Fractured chain had the middle of the corner, and that's what kept him in it. We keep on with the battles. And there you see Fractured in that mirror. That's what it looked like for the 27 all race long. Here he couldn't get on the throttle like he wanted to. And there's Fractured all over the rear. Look at that. All over him. Battling back and forth. Coming up on a complete fuel run here. So very, very soon these drivers will be pitting to get fuel. Fractured to the inside? No. And that high side, when you can get that high side to work, which at this moment is what's happening, the drive off on that high side gives you that slingshot, just absolutely kills your opportunities to get in there, to make that, complete that pass. You can get them on the inner, entering the corner, but then on exit you get absolutely torn to pieces by just the slingshot effect that outside gives, which is what was going on here. But look at the 22, could get drive on the inside, could almost get beside him, and then goodbye. There goes the 27 right along on the high side. Let's keep going. These guys will continue to battle, but this is the pivotal change right here. Fractured Chain says enough is enough. Give me that lead. Side by side on the exit of 2. Battling down the back straightaway. Fractured still right there. Cookie can't close the door. Here comes Fractured on the inside. Side by side as they go along. And Fractured's going to get the drive through the center of the corner. And right in front of Cookie goes the chain to get back to the lead. About midway the race here. And here's Cookie. Can he battle back and get back in the right position? Let's see what happens here. Fractured is going to almost tap that wall there. Here comes Cookie. Right there on the high side. There you see Fractured has to lift just quite a bit more. Cookie lets it roll through the center, blast off, and there goes the 27 right on around, and yet another lead change. These guys will battle for yet a little while. And this is at the end of a fuel run, so Fractured's tires worn, Cookie's tires worn. Fuel becomes an issue as the rear end of the car starts to lighten up a bit. And you see Fractured making a mistake there, rare mistake you don't normally see, tapping the wall. Drive off was a killer. All right, there they go, continuing to battle, and yet another lead change. Here we go. Fractured and Cookie side by side. Cookie way off the throttle there. Fractured says, yeah, I'll take that. Thank you, sir. And this time, he would set sail. Look at the gap. Fractured hungry for his third win of the season. Cookie hungry for a finish and not a DNF. Both would get what they wanted. All right, so we fast forward you now, and Fractured just absolutely pulling away. But here we go. Pit stops and preparing to ensue here. And so now, unlike the NHE and the NH2 models, now so important is breaking it down before you enter pit road. Yes, pace speed is important. And at this stage of the race, you don't want a black flag. There they go down pit road. And we'll see what the call is for both of these drivers as they enter pit road to pit for service under a green flag. course, you're not going to be able to see what's going on with these cars, but with the amount of time, let's see what happens. 22 in pit, 27 in pit. Wish you could see the guys working on the car instead of just the official pace car not used in this game. 22, more than likely 2 tires only. 27, more than likely 2 tires only. And they get back out there. Fractured such a big gap. What a good pit stop here. That was a decisive point in this race. And so we take you towards the end of this race, and there's nothing more really to be said. Fractured Chain absolutely runs away with the race. Runs on to his 3rd finish of the season. You see the 21 there. He's about to lap him. No more cautions, of course. And what a good race. It was so good to be back in N15. And again, I'm sorry about the quality. Hopefully the quality is a little bit, just ever so slightly better this time than it was last time we were on N15 and N14. But just not there. We're working on it. In the meantime, Fractured Chain would dominate this race, and it's just, again, so good to be back and being able to enjoy this style of racing yet again. So very fun. And we look forward again next week. Texas, Talladega, and Darlington as you look forward to. Oh, trouble! Oh, he's going to be able to save it. That would be a disaster if he did that. But he will finish 2nd. Speedy in 3rd. Hair Bear 4th. And All Guns top 5. Guys, we enjoy having you with us. And we look forward to more KMR action later on. From the Cookie Monster here on 105 The Drive. Deuces.